What's happening, Monarch Militia? We're back here with the Galactic Battle cinematic trailer, and then on top of that, we're going to go ahead and get into the full breakdown of everything to look forward to with the next Fortnite season. Fortnite.com has the news page where we have the full breakdown, the full blog of everything to look forward to. So we'll get into that. We'll break it all down, put this thing in slow-mo, see if there's any like little hidden things that maybe the blog doesn't have. But I'm excited. I like Star Wars. I'm not a huge like crazed fan of Star Wars. I don't know all my stuff, so maybe there's something I don't recognize or something like that. But without further ado, though, let's get into it. All right, battle bus. All right, yeah. I'm really curious with all this aerial stuff because they're showing a lot of things in the sky. I really feel like we might be seeing some aerial vehicles again that we can actually get into, which is pretty cool. Wookiee team leader. See, I don't even know all my terminology. That's how lacking I am in my Star Wars knowledge. I don't know the names of all these things, but I just like Star Wars. Okay, we're feeding into that samurai stuff and whatnot still. Okay, I like that. General Gravis. Oh, this would be a cool location. I really hope that's a location on the map. Emperor Palpatine. Is that Darth Jar Jar? What the heck? That's crazy. There's a lot going on there. Oh. Alright, so like I said, I'm not fully knowledgeable of all of this sort of stuff, the TIE fighters, the X-Wings and all that. I don't know all that stuff off the top of my head. I need to like refresh it, look it up and whatnot. But I'm really hoping whenever we get to the blog page here that this stuff is going to be usable because all these Star Wars seasons, I play Battlefront and whatnot occasionally, very occasionally. It's more of like a May the 4th type of thing. But I play Battlefront and you can actually fly around while everything's going on in some of the matches. While people are down on the ground, you can be in the air. So I'm really hoping whenever we hit that blog page that it says something like that. Or maybe if not that, while people are having like the full battle royale scene being in the air, maybe like a separate LTM type of thing for this season where we can go into the air and do all sorts of things up there. I'm gonna guess because of everything that's coming in here and they're down on the ground right here, we could be having like full blown chaos with this season. Things in the air, things on the ground, lightsabers, all the other Star Wars weapons, the blasters and all that. I feel like there could just be absolute mayhem with this season. I would honestly be pretty hyped about that. I feel like we've had a couple of seasons that start out pretty hot and they start out pretty heavy, but then they just kind of get a little dull in the midst of it all. So I'm really hoping, especially considering they're on the X-Wings here, they're all sitting on top of it, that we could just have full-blown mayhem swoop down, do exactly what we're seeing here in the trailer. I'm wondering if we're gonna have some sort of thing to where we can get into here, because this seems like it's a ship that's gonna be in the sky. Like I said, I don't know my terminology fully. We got all the samurai stuff. I think this is gonna be cool. We should have like separate Darth Vaders. I think that'd be sick. That'd be cool to have the regular Darth Vader meet the samurai Darth Vader. I forget his name with the purple lightsaber here, but then we got General Gravis or Grievous, however you say it. Everybody says it differently. Anytime I see somebody that has like a jetpack, I just think of Boba Fett, but this seems like it's going to be a nice desert location. This is what I was missing with Fortnite is more biomes. And we have Darth Jar Jar. I got a funny feeling this is going to be an item shop skin. You guys go ahead, check this out for yourselves. It's on Fortnite.com. You just click on the news tab. You'll see this big bold box here, just front and center. You just go ahead and click on that. And that's what we're going to go ahead and get into here. So jumping into it, we have Strap-In Starfighter. Star Wars is taking over in Fortnite. Galactic Battle. A galactic reckoning is coming. Imperial Star Destroyers exit hyperspace information around the Death Star, which looms with its super laser array fixed on the Battle Royale map. Okay, so maybe we are saving the island. Maybe we could see either the island get destroyed after this, or somehow in this Star Wars season, we stop that from happening. Heroes from across eras are ready to strike back against the assault led by Emperor Palpatine from the shadows, and the island's fate hangs in the balance. Okay. Draw your lightsaber and ready your blaster May 2nd at Fortnite Galactic Battle. I feel like they've never highlighted draw your lightsaber. Maybe I'm just digging too deep into it. I really hope that we finally see lightsaber pickaxes. I know that it becomes a weapon in the game during these Star Wars seasons, but eventually, come on, somehow, some way. I'm sure it could just be repositioned, make it look different from the way it's positioned, where it's like behind our backs and everything during an actual lightsaber weapon. Maybe we even hold it like that, where we just hold it kind of like they're shown in the pictures down here. I don't know, but we got to see it eventually. Please, Epic Games, please. So moving on further, we have the cinematic trailer that we actually just watched. So you guys can go ahead, head to Fortnite.com, to the news tab, to this entire blog post that we have here, and watch it from here if you want. It's going to redirect you to YouTube, obviously, but you guys got that there if you want to go ahead and do that. An Imperial takeover. Driving back the Imperial invasion will take every blaster and ship at your disposal. Every ship at your disposal? Come on, come on. I'm hoping that we have just full-blown Battlefront sort of chaos going on this Battle Royale island. Unless you feel a strong pull to the dark side, either way, touch down at one of these new locations. We have Resistance Base, we have First Order Base up in the snow, we have Vader Samurai's Solitude, then we have the Outpost Enclave. So that'll be pretty cool. We don't really have too many sandy, deserty biomes, but that obviously is going to add a nice just pile of sand right there on the island. First Order base. The First Order has claimed a mountaintop to house its imposing base of operations, which includes a hangar for repairing damaged First Order TIE fighters. There are 5 entrances, but its utility shaft is its main point of weakness. So I'm assuming that's right here. This is looking like a utility sort of repair shop for all these. So this is probably the main point to just fly in. And of course, this is going to be right here in the snowy area. Then we have Outpost Enclave. There's an element of danger to the Outpost Enclave, a boisterous hub of smuggler activity where tensions are known to run high. While you're in the area, check out the interior of the parked sandcrawler nearby. I really like the deserty biomes whenever it comes to Star Wars, so at least a little portion is kind of nice. Resistance Base. The underground resistance command center is shrouded in foliage, hiding the facility's location from any ships passing overhead. Kind of cool. I always like dystopian stuff as well, so it's kind of cool to know that it's going to have this overgrowth of vines and just moss and everything else just kind of hanging from everything. Here you'll find X-Wings and a ton of handy equipment for taking on the First Order's fleet. Interesting. So now we've highlighted not only X-Wings, but if we come back up here, we're highlighting the TIE fighters. So maybe we could be seeing full-blown Battlefront chaos this season where we have things going on in the sky, things going on down on the ground, all sorts of stuff. And who knows, maybe if that is the case here, we could see a Battlefront 3. I feel like they could really outdo themselves in the sense of just maybe taking a little bit of inspiration from Fortnite here. So now we have Vader Samurai's Solitude. Of course, this is in the bottom left corner. We could see that on the map again, just in this like reddish sort of Mars colored biome. Darth Vader Samurai has seized Shogun's Solitude and turned it into his own personal fortress. That's pretty cool. I'm really hoping, like I said earlier, that we could actually see a Darth Vader Samurai and a Darth Vader, just the regular one from seasons ago, actually be on the island at the same time. I think that'd be kind of neat. I mean, it's Fortnite. We have all kinds of crazy stuff going on in Fortnite, so maybe it could make sense in the Fortnite universe to some degree. Never know. Deal with his Stormtrooper Samurai guards, and you may get the chance to challenge the Sith Lord himself. The preferred weapon of Force users everywhere. An elegant weapon for a more civilized age. The use of a lightsaber is the mark of a Jedi, though it's used by their sworn enemies, the Sith, as well. It's handy for deflecting blaster bolts back at adversaries, and you'll also sprint faster, jump twice as high, and have fall damage immunity while brandishing one. Lightsabers are not found but earned. You must train in the Force or, just loot it off another player. Okay. I'm sure this is going to be like before where we go into that little portal, we come out, it does the whole like looping effect, or maybe they'll change that up. I don't know. Find and train with hologram Ray to earn a blue lightsaber and learn force push. Okay, so yeah, like I said, which shoves everything in front of you. If you're of a different persuasion, train with hologram Emperor Palpatine to earn a red lightsaber. I like that. And learn force lightning, a shocking new way to deal damage. I'm really curious what sort of damage this will deal, what the range is on it, if it's just like shooting blasts of electricity or if it actually has like an attachment to your enemy. I'm really curious how this is going to go inside the game itself. Use any of these force abilities, you must have a lightsaber equipped. Any will do, it doesn't need to be the one you earned in training, so that's kind of nice. I always like that. Force abilities are tied to you and not your lightsaber, meaning that players who loot a lightsaber from an enemy or find one on the ground will not receive a force ability with it. Defeat Darth Vader's samurai to earn a different red colored lightsaber and learn Force Saber Throw, which flings your lightsaber directly in front of you like a dangerous plasma boomerang. Okay, so it's just like the first time we saw this entire thing with Darth Vader, but obviously it's from Darth Vader's samurai this time around. So anyway, start blasting. As far as non-lightsaber weapons go, it's blasters only on day one. I like that. I really like that because I was really curious with this whole Star Wars season if we'd actually see just Star Wars stuff itself, or having a golden scar and then having a DL-44 blaster. Kind of a bummer that it's only day one, but I can see why they do that. The season isn't going to be a long one from what I've seen or what I've heard. It would be nice if it was at least like a week or something. Anyway, though, we have the reliable DL-44 blaster pistol. We have a heavy CR2 blaster, the close range ACP scatter blaster, and BARM ST12 scatter blaster. I really don't know what half of this stuff is, so it would have been kind of nice to have this stuff like singled out so we know what goes to what, but obviously we're just going to figure this stuff out whenever the season actually drops here. And we have the close to medium range DLT-19 blaster, long range IQA-11 marksman blaster rifle, all-purpose A280 CFE blaster, unvaulted, highly accurate DC-15. So these are things that we've seen before. We have the Empire Standard Issue E11, and then First Order Standard Issue F11. Though technically not a blaster, this one will cause a blast, toss a thermal imploder, and run away before its compression vacuum ignites for big damage, ripping a hole in any nearby structures. The greatest warrior of Parnassus. I don't know how to pronounce that. Like I said, I'm not super knowledgeable about my Star Wars stuff. I just like Star Wars stuff. But we have Captain Phasma, is the commander of the First Order's Legion of Stormtroopers. If you can infiltrate the First Order base and defeat her in battle, you'll be rewarded with the mythic Captain Phasma's F11D blaster and Phasma's blaster medallion. Medallion extends how long it takes a blaster weapon to overheat and reduces its cooldown. That's pretty nice. I always feel like these things overheat really fast, and I could also add that onto the point of why they probably aren't having this whole Star Wars only thing last beyond a day, because these blasters are difficult to use. They're tricky with aiming, they overheat, so having a medallion that kind of combats that isn't too bad. Pilot a starfighter, the symbol of the Imperial fleet, the Imperial TIE Fighter, in a single passenger craft designed as an instrument of the Empire, equipped with high-powered blasters. It could potentially be an instrument of your next victory royale, dude. Let's go. Alternatively, hop into the pilot seat of a nimble X-Wing and push the throttle to cover ground quickly. It's crucial to utilize its laser cannons, especially if you find yourself in an aerial dogfight. Nice. So it does seem, judging by this text here, we're going to be seeing these bad boys raid on the island while everybody has their lightsabers, their blasters, and everything else. We could also be in the air having dogfights with these things. or just probably lasering the ground. We'll have to see how that goes. It's pretty nice to finally see some aerial vehicles once again, though. I always love having the helicopters. It's been a long time since we've seen the planes. This is going to be exciting. This is nice. May 8th, the pull of the Force. Sensing a disturbance in the Force, Leia and Luke will arrive on the island May 8th alongside renowned smuggler Han Solo to offer you strategic services. Speaking of the Force, hologram Mace Windu will appear on May 8th. Train with him to earn a purple lightsaber and learn Force pull. Okay, so that's kind of cool. They're kind of just like drip feeding us all the stuff that we've seen before, or most of the stuff that we've seen before, kind of throughout this season. We're not just getting it all just dropped right on our head day one. So that's going to be pretty nice. Rumor has it the Sith Lord Darth Maul will be around as a hologram as well. That's nice. I like seeing him return here, offering the red lightsabers and teaching Force throw up objects around you and throw them as projectiles. I like that because that was actually my favorite thing about the last Star Wars season is being able to just pick up the rocks around you and just hurl them at an enemy. It was overpowered, but I loved it. May 15th, chew on this. Chewbacca's ETA is May 15th, and he's bringing the Wookiee bowcaster to the loot pool to aid the rebels. You'll also find the powerful CA-87 Jawa scatter blaster in chests around the island. New to Fortnite. Pretty sure the scatter blaster is this. If I remember correctly, this is the Wookiee blaster or bowcaster. So that's going to be pretty interesting. This weapon looks like something. I'm really curious how this is going to go. May 22nd, Mandalorian Rising. On May 22nd, Mandalorians will intervene. You'll be able to recruit a heavy scout, supply, or medic Mandalorian to your team and gain further advantage over your opponents with the unvaulted Mandalorian jetpack. Also, keep an eye out for signature Mandalorian weapons, the Amban sniper rifle, and the new dual-wield Westar 34 blaster pistols. May 29th, Star Destroyer Bombardment. On May 29th, assume control of a Star Destroyer's turbo laser and lay waste from above. A single portal to the Star Destroyer's control room will spawn every match. Be the first to reach it, and the capital ship is yours. I really like them doing this. They should definitely add this to not every season, but at least most seasons, at least a couple here and there, just sprinkle it in, whatever they could add similar to this. They had Doom, now they have the Star Destroyer, one person having just the Infinity Gauntlet to just destroy the entire island. June 7th, the final showdown, Death Star Sabotage. Mobilize and take the fight to Emperor Palpatine in a live in-game narrative event on June 7th. Never tell me the odds. Probably going to be some stuff that's similar to the Doom stuff, which I myself didn't fully partake in. I played plenty of that season, but I never took part in the actual Doom event. So this is going to be nice. I'm really curious how this whole Star Wars thing is going to go down. Get the Star Wars Battle Pass. The legends are true. The Star Wars Battle Pass is chock full of treasures from across the known galaxy. We have Apprentice Evie, Force Sensing Vigilante, spreading peace across the galaxy. So that's going to be Evie front and center here. We've seen this character before on the FORTNITE island, but we're now going to have a Star Wars themed version of her. We also have Poe Dameron. Believe that's this individual here. We have a Wookiee team leader. Kind of cool. I myself don't believe I have any team leader skins. So it's going to be kind of cool to at least have a Star Wars themed one. Then we have Emperor Palpatine, leader of the Empire, ruler of the galaxy. So Emperor Palpatine over here. General Grievous will be an unlockable outfit in the Star Wars Battle Pass later in May. Thank you. They didn't include it up here, but I forgot that we have these secrets. Unlock Grievous by completing objectives that'll come online later in the season. Pass will be available to progress in from May 2nd until June 7th, 2025 Eastern Time. Then we have the Porsche and all that with Star Wars themed stuff going on with it. Gonna be nice to see a return of this. Pretty cool car. I myself don't have it, but I think it's pretty cool to have all this Star Wars themed stuff. We have the Darth Maul wrap decal, we have a Darth Vader one, and a Captain Phasma one as well. Okay, so we have even more Star Wars cosmetics actually entering into the item shop. So we're going to have Star Wars Crocs on May 2nd as well. Throughout the season, look out for new and returning Star Wars outfits, including the likes of Darth Jar Jar, we have Mace Windu, a customizable Mandalorian, and more. Wow. They're really, really hitting it with all these crazy cosmetics this season. Learn how to unlock the First Order Stormtrooper outfit, which, by the way, is completely free. All you guys have to do is just make a My Disney account, link that with your Fortnite account, and good to go. You just log into Fortnite, and right then and there it'll be. I don't know how to pronounce that, but we get a loading screen, so we can see that here. And how to watch the first 2 episodes of Star Wars Tales of the Underworld early in Fortnite. The show hits Disney Plus on May the 4th, but you can start watching it on May 2nd in Fortnite at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We even have some Twitch drops for this season that'll be able to go ahead and get obtained for, of course, free. You just need to have a Twitch account. May 2nd and May 15th to receive the Galactic Dual loading screen. So that'll probably obviously be this. And watch for 45 minutes and get the Anakin's Model Jedi Interceptor back bling. So we'll get this bad boy as a back bling. Similar to the My Disney stuff, make a Twitch account if you don't have one already. Link your Epic with your Twitch stuff, and then just go ahead, watch that, and then there will be a little drop box for your drops inventory. You just click that, click claim on your rewards, and you get them. You just have to watch for seemingly 45 minutes entirely, just all together for both of these, but 15 if you just want the loading screen. Then after that, I never really get into these sort of things whenever jumping into this stuff, but if you guys are curious about tournament stuff, content creation sort of stuff, coming down here, we even have more Lego Star Wars stuff going on this season, I guess. But if you guys are curious about all of that, all that's down at the bottom of this little news blog. You guys can go ahead, check that out, read through that sort of stuff. I never really get into it, but it's there if you guys are curious about any of that sort of stuff. We're seemingly going to have just a full-blown Battlefront season here with all this crazy stuff. Learn the Force, have the lightsabers, have blasters, have aerial vehicles, all kinds of crazy stuff this season. And with how jam-packed this is, I'm hoping, please Epic Games, please grant us some lightsaber pickaxes. We've been waiting. I think everyone can agree lightsaber pickaxes is a must. So fingers crossed that we finally see those bad boys in the item shop at some point. I'm sure they're going to have a pretty pricey price tag, but let's keep in mind lightsabers come with tons of customization, so it would make sense. Hopefully we can see a Star Wars only day one victory royale here with this season. I'm really pumped, really pumped. With that, peace out, Monarch Militia. As always, spread love, radiate positivity, and try to smile. See you.